There we go. I think we got it, and I think we are live. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Happy Sunday afternoon. Yay. For everybody, it's Sunday. It's that last day of the weekend. Big ho-hum there. Monday's your new beginning to a brand new week and a lot of new experiences. Hi, Doug. Happy to have you join us.
Happy Father's Day to all
yes,
the dads out there.
Happy Father's Day, absolutely. And happy Heavenly Father's Day to those that aren't lucky enough to have their fathers with them at this time. In that human way that we so wished we did. I do. So happy Heavenly Father, Dad.
Yep. Happy Father's Day, Dad.
Hope it's a good one for you. Yeah, so that's a little emotional. I haven't done that in a while, so missing my dad lately. Now I remember why, because it's Father's Day. I kind of try to live, just kind of go through this day, not remember it. It's kind of hard still.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine's been gone for 20-something years, and it still gets to me.
Yeah. Not to bring hardships, but you know.
No. You just miss them.
Did you get the chance to say goodbye?
I did not.
No. See, me either. That's another thing we share in common.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
I'm just as sorry for you as I am for me that we weren't given that opportunity. And that's hard. That is really hard sometimes. But, you know, let's not do that today. Let's just think of happy things and the fathers who are still here, who are plugging away, doing their thing for the world. And, you know, it's a beautiful thing to watch happen. I have my son. I have one son. And all my daughters, there's 4 girls, and they're all moms. And my son has been waiting to be a father for a long time. And so now he's stepping into that role with a mother that has 5 kids. And he would make the perfect dad. I think he may be a little bit too soft. That would be my worry, is that the kids would overrun him in many, many ways. I seen that yesterday.
He'll learn. It's a learning curve.
Yeah. He'll be given the first, 6 months to a year learning curve.
Oh, yeah.
And then after that, he better toughen up.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Getting over this allergy stuff. Still not so hot. The lungs are not doing very well. Let me get a drink really quick. But we really want to kind of talk your ear off and see what your experiences are in the energy front. Things that are happening within the world today. A lot of signs are reappearing again. There's something going on with the whales again. I can't remember what that is, but there's something going on with the whales again. And did you catch that story where that whale swallowed that man the other day?
I did.
Oh my gosh. Could you imagine being alive in the mouth of a whale? I am sure, I know I would be doing what he was doing, and he was thinking that's the end. This is it. This is how he's going to go.
That's how I'm going.
And oh my gosh, so grossed out. Yes.
Spit him out. He must not taste good.
And all he wound up with was like a dislocated knee and a lot of soft tissue damage. So, Hi, Jill. Happy to have you with us too. We got the camera sitting kind of off, and but there's a lot of signs that are going on in the world today. If we just take that step back and watch. This is when I like to become very silent, kind of sit in the backgrounds and see what's going on in the world and watch. And just be very vigilant, just be patient. And you're going to start to see the signs. And so, this is the second time around for whales. I'm trying to remember what order this came in the last time these signs came up. was gonna say hi. Come on, hi, Gwen.
It's just me.
But yeah, the first time the signs came up, I was told along the way to watch the birds. The beginning signs was watch the birds. So I'm like, okay. So I started paying attention to the birds, and we had just put a bird feeder. Jordan gifted us a bird feeder for Mother's Day, and so we set it up outside the kitchen window, the dining where the table is. And we started seeing really extremely large birds come to feed. And they were so big, it was like a double shepherd hook one.
Okay.
And it was just bending over. So we were watching these really large woodpeckers come to eat, which we've never seen there before. It's usually cardinals.
Right.
Cardinals and these little tiny brown birds. I think they're sparrows.
Mm-hmm.
An occasional robin or the babies. The robins bring their babies to feed. But never these really big ones. So it's like, wow, this is really cool. Bright red heads and, the black and white bodies.
Oh, yeah, those ones are actually quite large.
They are huge. They are huge. They're like little Nerf footballs.
Yeah.
And pretty weighty looking. So I'm not so sure I'd want to be on the receiving end of one of them things coming at you. That'd be kind of scary. They're kind of big looking.
They are big.
I don't do good with birds attacking. No. But I think, God, what was it? The birds, that it was the whales. Then after that, it was the sharks. I seen the sharks. They said, watch the sharks. And this was guiding us. Well, for me, it was guiding me through where we were at through this whole pandemic thing, this whole year. And how far we were to coming out of it, how close we were to coming out of it. And as the signs came to me about watching the animals, I would see that there was disturbances within this species. And we started seeing shark attacks in places where they were not known for ever having sharks present, let alone attacking.
Your light went off.
What just happened there?
Your light went off.
I know, that's crazy. So spirits have been here and they've been playing with the lights lately. There's no reason, because as long as this is... As long as it's open, it stays on. The light does. So... It's... Okay. That was just not like the bulb or anything like that. So something physically turned this light off. And we're going to get to that in a minute because... I got a really cute story to tell you. And we've been having this going on lately. They're playing with the lights, and it's like on cue. And yesterday something happened, and I could not have timed it better. I mean, it was as if I planned the whole thing. And you know where the panel is to turn the lights on and everything.
Yep.
In the break room, in the kitchen, far end of the building. I was all the way up behind the reception desk. And two young girls come in. This is the one that was mom and daughter. And looked extreme. I thought 15 and like 11, 12. And I thought they were sisters. And what are you doing? And so... we proceeded to start talking, and they wanted to talk about spirits. And so we were talking about spirits. And then if you know our lighting system here, the lights are hooked up like 3 and 4 at a time. So when you flip one switch, you turn off like 3 or 4 lights. It's not just one. There's nowhere in here other than the bathroom light. That's just one. Or the break room light. Mm-hmm. Everywhere else is multiples. And so... we started talking about spirits, and all of a sudden one light went out right in the middle in the reception area. And I started laughing, and she's like, what? And I said, did you not see that? And as soon as I went like this, the light came back on. Exact moment. And And I had to ask where Tony was because I thought she might have been back there doing something and just accidentally hit the lights. But she was in her room. And she came out
And
of her
again,
room.
they're on a circuit of 3 and 4 at one time, not just one.
Yes. Yep. And only one square went off. And yeah, it was kind of uncanny that it happened the way it did. But this is leading us to our conversation, about the energy. A lot of people are experiencing this in so many different ways, but spirits are actually really making the effort to make that connection with you in ways that are the light going off for no reason at all. It had to be physically clicked off in order for it to go off. And it's just happening. So this is twice now within the last 24 hours that Spirit has shown us with lights that they're going to validate their presence now. They're making themselves known. They want you to know, I'm here. This stuff is for real. So if you guys are having any experiences, let us know. We'd love to talk to you about your experiences for real. There's just so many ways and so many different things that are happening. People are they're feeling either really physically drained or they're really supercharged, depending where they're at on their path.
I know for me, I've been really, really physically drained lately over the past probably solid month. I have done more sleeping than I think I've done in years. Generally 4 to 5 hours a night is about what I typically sleep, and I'm good with that, and I can get up and do my productive day. And the other day, I think I slept 12 hours. Like, my daughter came in to check on me to make sure I was okay. She's like, I was scared something was wrong. You don't ever sleep like this. And she's like, what's wrong? I said, oh no, I'm just really tired. My work schedule is kind of demanding, but not something I'm not used to. But to have the extra sleep and this and that, it's just, I am physically just exhausted.
I get that. I'm just coming out of that. I spent that last almost 3 weeks being extremely drained and just like I can barely make it through the day. I want to go home. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to, or I get up in the morning and I don't want to play. I don't want to adult. And it got so bad that it allowed my allergies to really kick into high gear. And I was just so physically drained, I couldn't fight anything off. That came in again, so I'm dealing with the whole lung issues all over again. Just craziness. But now I'm feeling that supercharged, pick up and go. So I don't know how long this is going to last, but I'm hoping it lasts at least a week or two.
I'm hoping, I guess I'll pick up and go.
Yeah, so it's just, we're in a really crazy time, and people are, depending on where you're at on your path, is I think what you're going to experience. And you're either going to be, that really fatigued person, or that totally lost and disconnected person, or that let's move, it's time to go. And we're experiencing things and waking up in ways like we have never seen before. There's more of us. There's more people waking up to just the realization that there's more to life than just living and dying, working, being enslaved to somebody else. And a lot of people are waking up to their calling and kind of launching out there or off into a career of their own and, pushing forward that way. And I really commend you for doing that. We did that a year ago, jumped right in, and we just had our first anniversary here, the 15th. So,
yep. And I was one of them to walk in the doors never knowing they even were here, just on a whim, happened to come downtown, turn around, and there set a shop. And I was like, I must go in. I did, and I've been here ever since.
Yep.
And it's a good thing.
She become a sister. And there's a lot of people that are still, even after being here a year, they're still kind of strolling in, and they're like, wow, we didn't know you were here. I've looked for a place like this for forever. Yeah. So we just had a couple get in their car and drive, and they did not know why They didn't know what was going on. They were just guided to get in the car and drive. They found themselves here in Allegan. They're from Indiana.
Okay.
And they found themselves in this center. And so the husband was a skeptic. The wife wound up getting a reading after purchasing some trinkets and things like that. And she purchased a reading. I did the reading for her. Her husband sat in. I walked out and he purchased a reading and came back in.
Oh, wow.
So that was last Friday after I read like almost 60 readings that night.
Oh, yeah.
Like 58. I think it wound up at 58.
Busy
And
lady.
then did 2 more readings. But yeah, so people are just following that energy, following its guidance and the light that's, being provided for us. We just have to take that step back, open our eyes, and it's not really, did you realize, have you felt that switch? It's not really seeing with our eyes. It's seeing with your heart. You have to literally open that heart chakra and see that light with the heart, and what you're going to get in return is unsurmountable. I think it's lifelong. It's life-changing, actually. And I see a lot of people who they're expanding. The Monday night class is getting a little bigger.
Good.
We're growing with youth that is coming out and wanting to open themselves up to this way of living and being, because it is a living choice. It's a life path that you follow, and all life paths, they guide us down through our living, our human living. So it's a good thing to follow that energy.
It is, and children are so important now to help carry on future generations. We got to be able to pass this down to someone, and those someones are our children, to guide them, to teach them, to help them understand. But they're also here to teach us
Oh, absolutely.
a different way of seeing things that we've never seen before. I know everyone's probably heard of star seeds and indigo children and rainbow children and crystal children, all of them. They are here with a purpose, and it is to teach. It's to teach us to reach for those stars, to see something differently. They come in already, programmed with seeing and believing and understanding, to where we've kind of had to work at that. So it's a huge blessing to see more and more kids coming in and being interested in the subject and wanting to learn more.
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy how many kids are actually opening up, and speaking. They're now speaking about it. And, oh gosh, we're being moved in such a way that it doesn't surprise me that we're being asked to.
There goes that light again.
To see validation. We're being asked to see with this time I have it sitting up front. There's no reason for it to go off. Oh, come on. You're not going to give it back to me?
There it goes.
Maybe it's not liking it without the computer anymore. I don't. Looks like it's plugged in all the way. I don't know. That's crazy. I've never had this issue with it before, but I don't know. So, recognizing that energy, reaching out, helping the kids that come to you, that are guided to you, reaching out, helping them. It's very important right now at this time. And I've said this for a long time, that we wouldn't see the light of the tunnel of this whole past year until the middle of June. And it's the middle of June, and guess what? We're seeing that light at the end of the tunnel. Everybody's coming out of hiding. The masks are being eliminated everywhere. All the counts are down. Everything is just going back to kind of where we were.
Yeah.
We're never going to be that quote-unquote normal, not like we knew, but it's going to be a different way of living. But this is more loving, more light-filled, more positive, and it's just being prepared to open yourself up so you can receive what's due too. You can receive the good stuff as well as everybody else. So making sure that your heart chakra is well tuned and open, and if there's any decluttering you have to do, old emotions, no, you don't. No, any negativity, anything that causes a negative emotion, it's time to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to let it go. You can't take it with you. Why would you want to?
Mm-hmm. I think what this past year has taught me is get back to your roots, get back to the family, get back. And I mean, everyone is guilty of it. You know, you get busy, you get out there, you work, you go to different things. You're always, sports with the kids, school. But that all had to stop. I mean, if anything good come out of this, it was to put us back in with family. To reconnect.
Make us reconnect.
Yeah, reconnect, re-energize, get to know each other once again. I mean, because you drift away from that because you're so busy. So, like I said, if I take anything out of this is I got to reconnect with family.
Mm-hmm. Reconnect with family. And then we got pulled off from Mother Gaia. So there wasn't so many of us out there doing harm to her, which gave her time to heal. So she healed, so she can last us a little bit longer. Hopefully not everybody will go back to the old ways again.
Right.
Be more conscious, of your actions towards Earth and so on. But she had time to heal. And then, you better stop. And then, I'm going to put that on my lap here in a minute.
Keep it open.
Yes. Oh gosh, where was I? Darn thing took my whole voice away.
Okay.
We got called away from her so she could heal. She's healed. Now look at what we're doing. We're reconnecting with her just the same, but in a much more conscious way. Look at how many people has done home repairs, home remodeling jobs, things that they kind of didn't have time for. Somehow the universe made time for that to happen. Now, unfortunately, it's really hard to find any building materials.
Oh, that and
oh my gosh,
expensive.
Yes,
expensive
and
right now.
the prices have doubled, if not tripled. Yeah, I know my pieces of wood that I used to buy have doubled to cut into crosses and do crafts with. They're like maybe a 3 foot by 3 foot square, and they've doubled in price. We've just noticed all this, and it's hard to find electrical equipment. So,
well, hopefully that all changes back to somewhat normal.
Yes, kind of. Yeah, yes. Companies need to get busy, but then you think about it. Look at the spin-off that we get from this. You're coming over here with me. We have a heck of a spin-off coming from this as well, where companies are working more. They're hiring more. They're putting people to work.
Pay is higher.
The pay is better. Yeah, much better, higher. So there's a big spin-off coming from this. It's not just us being kept down to that minimum wage for the most part, or the low-paying jobs. We're actually doing the spin-out, and it's a positive thing. This time it's not a negative, it's a positive. And things are just kind of moving in a better direction for everybody concerned, not just one or a few chosen. It's for everybody concerned, as long as we open our hearts and stuff to this stuff.
Yep, I heard
You're hearing things over here too, moving. Yeah. We have a lot of energy down here, and our center has a history to it of a fire happening, and it left behind a lot of spirits. So we get visited quite often with these. Lately. It's been more active than ever before. My charger is plugged up. Okay. And so, yeah, things are just happening. We're experiencing a lot more. We're hearing a lot more. The voices, we can hear them talking a lot down here more. We're catching a lot of the energy in photos and stuff. We can see the energy. And so, just think, and I know it's not just here. I'm talking to a lot of people, and a lot of people are experiencing this energy, this new thing, because that veil, I don't care what anybody says, they can say that it's being lifted all they want to. No, that thing is gone. It is gone. People are seeing and experiencing these things all over the place, and it's everybody I come into contact. Everybody. I haven't met anybody yet except for the magician that we met yesterday. We met a professional magician. He's got videos out there. He does live shows. He's worked with David Copperfield, David Blaine, Chris Angel, and I can't remember who else. So we met him yesterday, and he's actually local. And so he may be interested in doing like a show out here.
Oh, that would be fun.
At some point in time. Maybe for the July 4th thing.
Maybe
I can contact him then and get a hold of him. But yeah, so he's the only one, that's really skeptic because of what he does. He kind of knows secrets, and he knows secrets that a lot of psychics and mediums do, and I don't have any secrets.
I think the secrets you're speaking of are those that are not
the
actually
charlatan.
Yeah, that are actually the psychics and the seers and the ones that actually are. I hate to say them, but fake. Because there are quite a few of those out there.
Yes.
And they do play games and they do partition tricks and. Yes. And I hate to see that out there because there are so many of us out there that are true and are are very in tune, I should say, very in tune to what they bring to the table. Whether it's if you're psychic and the different clairs in with that and your tarot readers and your runes and your stones and all of those that are true to their craft, their knowledge, their know-how. And then you bring in the ones that are not so truthful and do the parlor tricks, I think is where he's at. And so he thinks that, I can see why he's a skeptic. He's probably seen so much out there that is just a parlor trick.
Yep. Yeah. I so wish that whole light would have went off when he was there. Explain that, because I didn't do it.
I didn't touch it. I have noticed though, speaking of energy, just talking with, some of the people I work with, some of the people, that I happen to run into or whatever, talk out on the road, their energy they've noticed is much more than what they're used to, like lights going out or something faulting in a car, or even their phones will act up. And so I question these people when they do this. I'm like, so how was your energy level when this happened? Were you anxious? Were you nervous? Were you upset? Or were you just calm? And a lot of times they're going to tell you that they were a little anxious, or they were a little more I don't know, nervous about a situation, but they're noticing it happening now. And I'm like,
I love that when that happens.
They do notice, they're noticing more and more is what it is. And so they're putting two and two together, and they're finally understanding the more energy you put out, the more things happen. If you're more reserved or more calm, you won't see as much. So some of them purposely try to do this now just so they can see some sort of reaction happen. And I'm not saying bad or good, but just something to happen. So they're experimenting is what they're doing. And I just find it cool that they are experimenting with this.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who are really interested in opening their gifts. We have a young lady joining us for class tomorrow night who is just stepping into this. So she's just kind of making her way onto the path, and can't wait to work with her. She's probably the youngest maybe that we've ever had. So yes, people are experimenting, people are experiencing. However the case, people are seeing this stuff. They're witnessing it. It is it's becoming part of who we are, not as a collective, not just individually. It's as a collective. We are joining this. I am not going to open you back up again. Oops.
And I know I've seen this little quote somewhere on Facebook yesterday of, now is the time where, you know, before, like the witch trials and everyone kept it hush hush and nobody talked about it. But now is our time. Anyone that has any kind of an ability or would like to develop an ability, now is the time to do it, because everyone is so open to it.
Oh, yeah.
And there are so many resources out there now, and people are not afraid of it like they once were. And so now is like the best time to do this. To get involved, to learn something new, to
absolutely,
you know, maybe partner with somebody that has walked that road so they can help guide you. So it's exciting. It really is exciting to sit and watch and learn and see new ones come, and it really is an exciting time right now.
It does, and I really love watching those that I've kind of mentored. I love watching them start to spread their wings. That's an amazing feeling, to watch them just take off. So, yeah. So, you know, with like my daughter doing she started out with her artwork being sold through here. And now all of a sudden she's launched off into this art career, and she's being sought after. So, you know, way to go for her. I'm very proud of her, and I'm glad that she leaped into her energy, into her beliefs, and just kind of gave it over to spirit all the way along her path, and it's paying off for her. And it does for everybody that just kind of says, okay, whatever, this is what I want, that's that, and let's go of that need to control. Your life only gets better. You know, you begin to kind of manipulate the energy that's around you, and we all have it. It's just, and you have the ability to use it. It's how you choose to use it. You can either choose to use it in a negative way or an I don't care way, or you can use it in a way that you do care, and start moving yourself down this path. And pretty soon Spirit says, hey, we see what he's doing, let's pitch in and help him. And it just happens. Things just happen once we start that motion forward. And it's just, I love seeing the blessings come to others just the same. Absolutely. I think it's a wonderful thing to watch people grow. People step into to theirs, to their divine light, their divineness.
The divine role that they chose prior to coming here.
Absolutely.
That they're finally getting that door opened and opening up the eye. And I say I, your third eye. To open that up and finally see clearly now, and move forward with it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, well, this week coming up, I still feel as if we're going to experience some of this, the highs and lows this week. The highs and lows, the ups and downs, the roller coaster ride. I do feel like we're going to still feel a little bit of that. Still be a little bit on shaky grounds, but we are going to start stepping out just a bit more all the time. Yeah.
I keep the photo behind us, or I should say the wall hanging behind us, as you can see, is a moon, and the stars, the galaxy. I don't know if you can see how I see, but it looks to go on forever and ever. And maybe it's just my perception of this. But the message I get with that is reach for the stars and keep reaching. And that's just what I keep seeing this, and it's infinite. It's forever. And keep reaching.
Right.
It goes on and on and on.
Right. My focus is the circle. The circle that goes around. It's just everything in life, everything we put out, everything we reach for the stars and try to accomplish and do will come around full circle. And what might not make sense today It will in time if you're patient. So kind of whatever messages you are being passed, put them in your pocket, journal them, write them down. There's so many things you can do to remember these so you don't forget. So when this does come around full circle and you see the outcome of something that you've planted, you can remember, hey, I did see this. I did take notice to this. Kind of a validation for what you receive. And right now, I do feel like there's a lot of validation going on with people. A lot of it. There's a lot of people who are asking questions, even within themselves. And, they want the validation. They need to have it. And a lot of times it's being given to them. Other times, I guess, some people are still told to go on faith. You have to go on faith and just be, aware of what you're asking for. Be aware of the prayers that you put out into the world. Stay high vibrational right now. Stay in positive vibes this week. You don't want to be caught up in that whirlwind of negativity, because I feel like this is going to be a week where if you go negative, it's going to spin out on you in not a positive way. It's going to really kind of take flight, and you don't want to grow that. You don't want to. So kind of stay that high positive vibe.
It's nice out right now. Get out, enjoy nature, to just drink it in. The energy that it's out there now I've noticed since we've had the eclipse the other day, the energies are higher. They're vibrating higher. So however that works, I'm not sure how that works. I'm not an astrologer.
It does, yeah.
But since then, the vibrational pull from that has been greater than it has been in quite some time for me. And it just kind of reignites my own flame to push forward, get back on track, get back into what we were doing, and keep learning, keep pushing forward. Try something new, because everything's been so stale lately.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
It's so stale.
Last week, the energy here was very stale, very dense. And I didn't have any creativity. I didn't want to do anything. I just barely wanted to make it through the day, and that was it. Go home. And this week, it's different. This week, I just want to create. I want to move, create, get up, paint. Yeah.
Get out there and enjoy life.
Yes. Absolutely. We're having the most fun enjoying our backyard. Can't wait for all the vines to grow up, because I planted like 30 packages of seeds, morning glories.
Oh, those would be pretty.
And we had lined out with twine a living wall with windows cut out in it.
Oh, okay.
So the vines will all create the wall, and then we'll have the windows cut out in the middle of each of them. So I spent time doing that, and that was very time consuming. It was tying all these different knots and making sure they're all placed just right. But yeah, so everything's growing. The beans are growing. We've got tomatoes already appearing. So everything is doing good this year, which it's been probably 10 years since I could have a good garden. It just seems like it never took for some reason. And this year it's just taking, so
just feed it some more positive energy.
Yeah, that's another thing that we've noticed too, is that plants are multiplying, but they're like not multiplying next to each other. It's really weird. We have hyacinths that are popping up all over the yard. We've never had them before. I had one, and I replanted that one, and next thing I know, throughout the yard, there's all these different color hyacinth coming up. I don't know why. I haven't figured that one out.
They always remind me of little grapes.
Yes, they do look like a little bunch of grapes. Yeah. My favorite flower, though, because they smell really good. And they make the whole area smell good. But they just don't last long enough.
No, they don't.
Oh, goodness. But back to this whole move forward and this energy thing. Oh my goodness. I just can't say enough about getting up and moving at this time. Shaking off the kind of ickiness you feel, that fatigue kind of laid on all of us. getting up, shaking it off, start moving again, start living again, treating your body as a temple rather than a dumping ground, but just really honoring yourself so you can move forward freely. It's just like, I feel like right now we're in such a heavy manifestation time. Like if we think it, we can manifest it. Just believe in it. That's all you gotta do is believe in it. Set those intentions. This is what I want in my life. I want to begin making sense. Right now, I would do really well with not having a third eye headache. I have it every day for the past week. It's just been present. My forehead is so sore right here. Kind of makes me want to frown all the time, but wow. They're knocking that for a loop, but we're seeing a lot more things, and it's crazy things. And I seen a woman come in here, and I seen something run from her, and it was a sprite.
Oh.
Yeah. And I asked her, I said, you have a good affinity with all the elements, don't you? And she said, yeah, I kind of thought so. And I said, I said, you have things that are being moved on you. You set your keys down in one spot, go back to get them. They're not there. They're somewhere totally different. She says, all the time. I said, yeah, you have sprites. So they're kind of attached to you. And
little mischievous things.
They are going to just play jokes on you for a while. So, but yeah, and I've never been able to see them, but now all of a sudden I'm seeing them as well. And we're seeing little ones. They're only about this big that are running around too. But the sprites were a little bit bigger.
I know in our house, we seem to have, I don't know if it's spirit or sprite or pixie. I'm not sure what it is, but it takes our keys and puts them in places that we would never put them. And then the search is on. Have you seen my keys? Do you know where my keys are? Where did they go? And sometimes we don't always find them the day we need them, and then we'd have to, make arrangements for other things or have a second set of keys somewhere. So to kind of stop the little trickery with that is that we have all put our keys right next to the door, like on a little hanger. So as soon as we come in, we hang them so that we could be sure that we actually place them there. And then still there's times that they are not there. So we know somebody's playing.
All the time. This happens all the time to everything. I mean, I'll just be using a paintbrush. I'll set it down, come up here, go back there, and it's gone. I don't know where it's at. It's like, what the heck? So I've lost